What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to YoungCap, the YouTube and podcast platform in which I interview some of the most successful entrepreneurs and capitalists to find out how they got to be where they are today. I'm your host, Dominic Wilson, and joining us today for episode 4 is the multi-talented singer, producer, songwriter, artist, and DJ, Mr. Zack Gray. Zack, how are you doing today?
Great, man. How are you? Thanks so much for having me, man.
Thank you for coming on. And I
Of
am
course.
doing absolutely fantastic. So just to get us started off here, Zack, who are you? Where are you from? Who is Zack Gray and what do you do?
Well, you wrapped it up really nice. You said all the words that I like. So yeah, all those things. I'm from Roseville, California, which is kind of a suburb near Sacramento. I've been in Vegas for about 6 years now. Been working on a lot of music, got a lot of things coming. I've been mainly, yeah, I'm a producer too. I've been a singer, songwriter, all that stuff. I've had the band in the past, and but yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of EDM stuff, and I'm going to be moving my way this year more towards coming out as my own DJ as well, instead of just like as a more known singer. I have collaborated on some projects, but I think it's in the EDM scene. I am more known as a singer. And like I said, I've been producing for over 10 years. So I'm going to start to have more of my own, just my own solo songs where it's my voice and my production. And that way I can start, getting booked at more of these EDM festivals as a DJ where I also sing live. So it's something I'm super excited about, man.
That's crazy. And you said you've been producing for over 10 years now, which is crazy. What
Yeah,
got you
man.
started in the music industry?
Got me started, man. It's hard. That's really hard to pick out because I've really been doing music ever since I can almost remember. So when I was, my mom said I was just always singing. I used to sing at church when I was younger. I did violin like in a private school when I was, I want to say like third grade, maybe. And then I always remember seeing this dude at my school with like a guitar, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I always wanted to play guitar. And I remember my mom got me a guitar when I was really, really young. And then I started kind of fiddling it at some point. And I remember even just fiddling with the guitar before I even knew how to tune it. And then once I could tune it, I would just play a G. And then my mom got like a little Casio keyboard, and I tell a lot of people, man, because there's so many ways to learn stuff, but if you really have a drive, man, like you'll figure it out. Like I remember just figuring out guitar and piano because I was just so interested in it. And actually at some point when I was taking guitar lessons, the dude actually told my mom to tell, told me to tell my mom to have me stop coming because I wasn't playing what he wanted me to play. Like even from a young age, man, I always wanted to just like make my own stuff.
Do your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So to answer your question, man, forever. I mean, when I decided that I wanted to like do music as a career was when I was 13. And honestly, the choices at the time were, because I was a huge skater kid growing up. I mean, I used to rollerblade, and then I went to skateboarding, and then, my decision was, do I want to be a pro skater or do I want to do music? And I was sitting on this like legendary stair set that's actually like a 2 minutes, like 5 minute skate from where I grew up at. It's this thing called triple set. It's in like thousands of skate videos. All I did was ollie it. It was like, dude, if you could just even ollie it, it's like awesome, bro. But like pros would be doing like tray flips and crazy stuff down it. So, but I remember sitting on that stair set where we'd go to, there are some other spots around there. And I was like, yeah, music or skating. And I was like, yeah, music would be more fun, have to hurt myself less. And fast forward, even like last year, I stopped skating, man. Cause even last year, dude, I freaking broke my wrist. Like I've broken a bunch of stuff. So it's like, anyways, but yeah, that was like the decision of, do I want to do it as a career? But yeah, man, I mean, to answer your question, it's really like a long time, dude.
That's awesome. So I mean, just from the start, which I mean, since you did start so early on and now you've grown into, building up that fan base and working with more and more different artists and just keeping the content coming from early on in your career till now, what are some of the adversities and the challenges that you faced that got you to where you are today?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a great question. So many, man. I mean, my mind immediately goes to you know, because my first dream, I mean, when I was 9, like I learned all the Blink songs, and
Mhm.
um I just remember like seeing Blink and being like, dude, it'd be so fun to just be in a band like that, because it was like this rebellious like skater kid mentality of like, so yeah, it was like, dude, it would just be fun to like have 3, 4, 5 guys that are your friends and just have this band and like whatever, take over the world or go on tour or like, so that was the dream. And
Mhm.
then you know, in high school and then a little bit beyond, it's like, man, that was it. You know, that it was always the band. But
Mhm.
even just having a band, dude, is so not easy to find. Even just one
Yeah.
other person sometimes that's like on the same page is hard, man. So the first real diversity in music was definitely just like going through band. Man, you know, I had one dude, my buddy Sean, who I had the band with for forever, and then you know we did end up getting signed like a little bit after high school. But dude, I mean, I think from when I started like trying to do a band like sophomore year to couple years after high school, it's like, dude, I mean, I feel like I played with like 30 different people trying to get the band to work. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So the first diversity is like, I think is really you know, trying to consistently find, especially if because I wanted to do a band, it's trying to find um yeah, man, other people to work with, finding, you know, because I didn't
Mhm.
know how to produce yet. So it was, you know, and we did find a great producer at some point. But at first it was finding like-minded people, which I did find my buddy Sean. And then we, you know, the other members kind of were in and out over time. And then it was trying to get the music recorded great. And that actually kind of happened pretty quickly. We did find. I mean, actually, I take that back. That was kind of a process too. But eventually, we did find someone that. And as soon as we worked with someone who actually knew how to record, like literally that EP and those couple songs got us a manager and signed at some point. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, those were the real first. Because man, it's like, you know, I loved it. So I was down to like for whatever. I mean, that's why I'm still doing music today, is because I've
Mhm.
been through it doesn't matter how much adversity I've been through, like I'm in it to win it. And like, you know, even if everyone, and I say this a lot, it's like, even if everyone, my management, all my friends around me said like, screw you, Zach, like I'd
Mhm.
still go, you know what I mean? It wouldn't stop me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the real adversity was finding like-minded people in the band and then finding someone to record. I think after I decided that so I got to a point with the band where, man, I was just, dude, I mean, it had always been like like I've always been the singer. I've always been like the main writer. So I just got to a point with the band. It wasn't that I didn't want to do a band anymore. It was, I was just tired of relying on people. I was tired
Mhm.
of like, this is my dream. And I'm tired of feeling like I need this other band with a name and like a couple other people to like make it into reality. And it's
Yeah.
interesting, man, how life works out. It's like, you know, you have this idea of what you think you really want. And then, you know, I'm a Christian, so I could say God. A lot of people say the universe, and I say the universe too, but it's like, you know, God has different plans. And it's honestly, it's ended up to be better than I even would have imagined. And I always like to say, it's like you set your intention and you set your attitude about what you want, and then you kind of let life give you what's actually going to be the true best thing for you. I think as humans, man, we're not smart enough to always know what's best, man. So
Mhm.
you know, I even go, I mean, this is kind of off on a little tangent, but I'll circle back in a second. But I think, you know, like I said, you set your intention for what you want. And then, you know, dude, most of the time, like what I thought I really wanted, like was nothing compared to what actually came in and how cool that thing actually was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I never thought I wanted to like be a DJ or like be a solo artist. My goal was always like, bro, I'm gonna have this band, we're gonna be huge. And then like then I'll have, maybe after that I'll have some like solo project. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But then as years went on, it's like I started like slowly like EDM stuff. And then like I always said, dude, if I could just sing on an EDM track, like it would be over. Cause at that point, I already know how to produce myself. I already know how to write. And, you know, being able to get your name out there without having to also produce an entire song, you know, is cool as a singer. And then obviously that leads into really nice that I've already been producing. So that, you know, I'm already in the scene as the singer. And then once people know, it's like, whoa, he produces too. And he already can DJ, and he already like, I've already had, you know, it's interesting with my new team. It's like, you know, when they've seen me play, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
they're stoked. But I'm like, you know, the reason why I can bring it when I DJ and sing over the songs is because I've been doing the band since I was so young, man. So I'm
Yeah.
so used to that performing. So it's like to be able to like perform and not have to worry about the whole band and it's just me up there, it's like easy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then I can like super have fun and it's really relaxed. But yeah, man, I think, you know, after I decided to stop doing the band, I really wanted to get out of my hometown at some point. I really wanted to go to LA. That was like
Mhm.
just my goal forever, man. It was, it's
Home of
even why I
entertainment.
like, yeah, it's even why I like became a Laker fan like a long time ago. R.I.P. Kobe. Oh man, I could cry. But yeah, man, it was just like I was so drawn to LA for so many reasons. And then, you know, super long story short, my dad had moved to Vegas and I came out here for my birthday one year and I met a girl and then ended up moving here. And I'm so glad I came to Vegas. But yeah, man, I really started from scratch in Vegas as a solo artist. And you know, the idea first was, you know, I wanted to like do this blend of like alternative R&B, almost like alternative meets like what the Weeknd was doing, meets some EDM stuff. And then obviously I'm kind of, and I still love that genre. Like that first Weeknd like stuff changed my life. Um, but yeah, I would say the adversity since that has been, you know, I still, even though I don't have the band anymore, I love collaborating. So,
Mhm.
and it's not even adversity, I guess, but it's like, you know, there's been times where like I'll be working with someone and then that ends up not working out. And then, but the cool thing is about not having it be a band anymore is like, even if I am working with someone and then it doesn't end up working out, I don't have to like change the band name and completely rebrand. Like that was the whole thing. Like anytime something weird happened with the band member a long time ago, it's like, oh, well, now we have to change the band name.
Yeah.
So
And
annoying, dude.
speaking
You
of
know,
collabs, which if you guys haven't already followed Zack Gray on Instagram, go follow him. That brand new collab out in the bio. I listened to it on the way here, as a matter of fact.
yeah.
Uh, Absolutely awesome. Uh,
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Definitely was stuck in my head.
dude. Yeah, everybody feels, man. That was a cool one. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to like I said, dude. I think I have like 9 other collabs coming up that are unreleased, and I've got some cool solo work too. So yeah, man. Thanks
That's
for the plug.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And so it's incredible how you started from scratch and kind of built it up, as you know, most entrepreneurs build up companies from scratch, or you know, just different aspects. But the way that you built it up and the challenges that you overcame, of those challenges, if you could go back and start over today, if you were to start over today, would you say that you would change anything that you did, or do you think that the adversities that you overcame and the challenges that you were faced with kind of shaped you into who you are today and why you've built yourself up to what you are today?
It's interesting, man. I've thought about that before. I've definitely had this conversation before about like if I could tell myself something or if I could go back, what would I do? Um, I think, you know, it's interesting, man, because it's like you could think about going back and changing certain things, but it's like I am who I am and I write what I write because of what I've been through. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say it in this way. And this is like what I'm still working on today. So it's like what I would what the biggest thing I would tell myself or go back is still just like, man, just like follow your heart, follow your intuition, be patient and like keep going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm still doing. I think the things that I struggle with that I'm still, you know, trying to work on is just self-discipline and trying to just be more organized and trying to find a balance between you know, social and work and health and content. And it's a lot, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's you know, it's interesting too because it's like and so much of my music comes from yeah, you know, relationships I've been in and things I've gone through with people and you know, yeah, it's like, you know, I'm a person who it's like I have zero regrets, man. I mean, there's things that like maybe I would think about changing, but I'm like, dude, every single thing that I have done and every, you know, person that has, you know, screwed me over, it's like, it's all taught me like extremely valuable lessons that like I honestly wouldn't trade. And
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, it's interesting, man. It's like this as a writer, like my, you know, my biggest strength is, obviously I think a writer and a singer. And it's this weird like double-edged duality sword of, I want to be really happy because everyone does,
Mhm.
right? But like my best music has come from these things that I've gone through and that I've struggled with. So it's like all those things are like these beautiful, and I just think that's my, I've have a lot of conversations with artists too who struggle with depression, and I just released that whole documentary series about mental illness. There's 2 more episodes coming with a song with my guy Halav, who's from Estonia. um but um but yeah, man, I think anybody, dude, I even said the same thing to, this is crazy, man. Last night I was out with some friends, my friend John, Matt Mark, and this guy named Alex runs Wave Music, which is a huge YouTube channel. And John does a bunch of visual stuff. He works with like Griffin and some other big artists. But we were at sushi,
Mhm.
and there was this guy, he's like Andre Zick. He does the financial stuff. Graham something. Graham.
Uh, Graham Stephan? No,
Yeah, Graham Stephan.
Graham Stephan. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he was at sushi. So,
Oh, wow.
yes, we were at the same restaurant last night. It was really crazy. So, but I had like a little moment with him. We were talking outside, and it's the same thing I feel about music, and the same thing. Even you doing this, and like him giving financial advice. It's like, once you feel called to do something, and you feel there's like, you have some kind of what other people would call like a talent or a gift. I feel like, I don't want to call it an obligation, but it's like, man, like music and writing, like that's been in my heart forever. So at some level, it's not about me. It's about like, if you have this thing, like it's your duty to God or the world or your life, or however you want to define it, to express that and give that out. Because no matter how much shit I go through, no matter how depressed or anything you or any other creator or someone who has that is, um, and everyone has this in little ways, whether it's like your main goal in life is to be a creator or to do stuff, or maybe you work a job. It's like everyone
Mhm.
has something like that is cool about them that they can share and give to the world. So it's like, it's your duty to do that, because it's not just about your own like feelings about your own life or your happiness. It's about what you do and how it affects other people. So it's like, no matter how much shit that, like I said, I've gone through, it's like, I know that when I turn my thing that I'm struggling with into music,
Mhm.
it's so way beyond me, man. It's like,
Yeah.
and I've had people tell me like, bro, this song got me through something. And like, dude, your music really helped me. And like, that is really like the biggest drive behind beyond any selfish goal that I have, is to put my energy into the world, and knowing that like it makes other people happy, or that it can help other people. And that's, so to kind of circle that back to adversity, it's like, I feel like adversity has been like my biggest strength, is to turn that adversity into not only my own lessons, but into something beautiful, which is music, and something, poetic, and something that, at the end of the day, is therapeutic and helps other people. So
And you touched a little bit on there. You brought it into, how everybody kind of goes through, no matter what industry you go into or what you do, everybody kind of faces that adversity at some point.
yeah.
Whether it's judgment from others, bringing yourself down because something happened. And one of the biggest things that I noticed, and I'm going to tie in a two-parter on this last question, is um, a, good friend of mine, as a matter of fact. There's a few people that I know who are trying to get into and decided to start and make a song, and it actually blew up on YouTube. And
I love it.
there's different people, and it's crazy because without a doubt, I had jumped in to support. I'm always that one that will uplift an idea, especially if it's friends or family. Like, I'll be there to support. I feel like that support is who I have and who you start with.
Right.
Um, and there's a lot of people on the other hand who are like, I don't know why uh, she's singing or why she's doing this. And I know that's a big adversity thing, is because even when I started this, it was like, why are you doing this? Like, what's the purpose of it? And my purpose is to give back to other entrepreneurs and get people started. And I have that purpose, and that's why I keep doing it. And so my question to you is, for whether it's going into music or whether it's going to start a company or whatever it is, what is some tips that or that or some light that you can shed on to the people who are brought down by that, or who are about to embrace that adversity, or
Mhm.
who already are, on how you got through that, how they can get through that?
I love it, man. And dude, before I answer this question, and I love this question. And I try to, like, anytime that I really sit down with someone or I find out what they want to do, this is it. This is the question, because everyone goes through their mind about how, or like what, or other people, or, you know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
it's a huge thing. So first off, man, before I answer this, I just want to say I'm grateful for you to bring me on here to get to share this, man. Because I think
Thank
it's
you.
powerful, man. And like, honestly, man, at me, beyond singing and the art that I make, like I, I've been slowly wanting to do more things where I share my insight on this stuff, because, I know where I am, and I know, my mindset that has gotten me here. And, I want more than almost anything to help people get there. You know what I mean? Because it's
Mhm.
like, dude, so I feel like, man, I thank you. Okay. So here we go.
Thank you.
So first thing is this, man. First thing is if I guess the first thing is figure out if this is something that you really love and really want to do. Because regardless of anything else, I've realized that money, success, any goals that I have, I would do music anyways.
Mhm.
At some point, it's like my form of like therapy. And it's my form of like, I can't go very long regardless of, like when dude, it's like I'll go through something and then like a little song will come. It's like, that's not me always. I mean, I have enough things where it's like I have stuff to work on, but like I would always be making stuff. So it's like, figure out if the thing that you want to do, it's like you just really like doing it. Because if you don't really like doing it, all the stuff that it's not gonna be worth it, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, because it's hard. I mean, well, and you know what? It's interesting. Hard is subjective. And the reason why I say hard is subjective is because um people sometimes say to me, and they've said to me in the past when they've seen me have some level of success, like, hey man, you probably worked really hard. And in my mind, I'm like, I could see how you feel like that, but I know I could maybe work harder, or like there's so many other things I could improve on, to
Mhm.
be honest. So my like working hard to other people is not really the same in my mind, because it's like,
Doing what you love.
exactly. And even
Mhm.
those little moments of like, struggle, it's like, dude, it's I don't know, man. It's kind of interesting. So, but I think if I can really try to just break this down like really analytically into like a couple things, it's first, love it, and you have to just have like blind faith. And like, so there's only, I feel like as humans we really overcomplicate things, but there's really only two choices to anything that you want to do. Yes or no. Is, am I going to be successful in this? Is this going to work out? Yes or no. And even before you have anything, even before you even have a name for your company, a name for your project, or decide, even before you write one note, you can decide, is this going to work out or is it not going to work out? And to me with music, it's like, yeah, I want to do music. So at some point, I just had to make a decision that like, this is going to work out. And as soon as you make that decision, it's like, yeah, you're going to have moments where you might get towards that line of doubt, but you can make that decision and never go back. That's the decision I made. I was like, dude, I mean, I just always felt it too, but it's literally just like, I don't want to say it's like fake it till you make it. It's kind of a fake it till you become it. And
Mhm.
I'm a big like law of attraction guy. So it's like, man, I've manifested so many things, man. And when I learned about The Secret a long time ago, in addition to like my faith in God and all that stuff, like, dude, it's a very powerful thing about like what you feel even before you have it. Like you can really bring some crazy stuff into your life quickly. And that also goes back to like, if you focus more like on the feelings of what you want, like God or the universe brings in things that are way beyond what you could have even imagined. Because
Mhm.
so blind faith in what you want, like and I've gotten into this too, which is comparing yourself to other people. Like, I've always like, I used to always look at like, how old is someone? And if ever they were younger than me, I'm like, it never made me feel good. So I've
Mhm.
slowly kind of stopped doing that. And I'm just like, you got to understand that your company and your art and what you make is unique and awesome because of you. And
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what anybody else has done. You can be inspired by someone else, but dude, I think a huge, probably one of the top reasons looks, creatively, sound, art, whatever. The biggest reason why people are depressed is because they're comparing themselves to other people.
Mhm.
And people need to understand that like you're really cool because it's you and no one else is like you. So you need to like capitalize on what makes you you. So that's like, I guess that's like my first and second thing. Um, and then I'd say third thing is forget about how you're going to make it happen.
Mhm.
I think most people don't get started because they're so focused on like how exactly is this going to work.
Mhm.
Like I've had no idea, bro, how I was going to get to where I am now. No idea. And it's funny, man, when I thought of this is actually crazy, man. When I first like learned about law of attraction, like all I thought was like, I want to get signed. 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 And I got signed. But that was nothing. That had nothing to do with what I actually wanted. And that
Mhm.
whole situation ended up not working out. But because it's like, dude, I didn't want to be signed. I just wanted to like release music and get it heard and go on tour and like do all that stuff. And getting signed was just like a little part of that, like a small part of that. So
Yeah.
so yeah, dude, forget about how. Like just like all you got to know is like what you want to do, enjoy that journey. And I would say like the journey of it, you have to like love the process, man, because honestly, dude, it is not about the destination. But I
Mhm.
think you can set that destination, and I think you should set the destination even farther than you even think. Like my old goal, and it's still the same, man. It's like I want to be one of the biggest artists in the world. I do want to get there. But I'm not depressed now because I'm not one of the biggest artists in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's that whole
Understanding the process.
yeah, it's like, but dude, I mean, like, why not set my goal there? And like, whether wherever I get to in there before I die is it's that's a mood point, to be totally honest, man. But it's like it's set your goal there. But forget
Mhm.
about like how am I gonna get there and just like make moves and I think the thing to wrap that all up, man, is gratitude. And I think your biggest friend in anything that you want to do, especially if it's creative, it's starting a business, is like in those little moments of adversity, in the moments of like while you're building, and like you have to like get out of this thing of like always wanting stuff. And that is good, but it's better to like, I already feel that I'm like a big artist. I already feel like I am successful, even though there's so many other things that I'm like striving for. Like I'm still in so many moments, man, at the end of so many days, at the end of like a cool show or like a little hangout with people, like, man, I'm driving home and I'm like, dude, thank you God so much for everything I have, for all the people in my life, for everything I get to do. And it's like that feeling of gratitude for what you already have in your life will bring the best things to you, man. So it's like, yeah, all that stuff, man. Blind faith. Forget about how. Just know what you want to do, and then just start moving. Start making moves. Start making things. I also think another thing, especially with music, is like, dude, don't try to be perfect, man. Like, get the
Yeah.
song as good as you can, and release it. And I would say if you're gonna spend any money on anything, I think a lot of people skimp out on the music. They're like, hey, my friend's gonna give us a deal for $100 and then they spend like $1,000 on a music video and all this stuff, but like the song's trash.
Mhm.
So it's like for music, it's like if you're going to spend money on anything, I mean, first off, everyone should learn how to record. Like that was a huge thing for me, learning how to record and produce myself. But if you don't know how to do that or you don't want to, the most money should be spent on the song. Get people to write with you, work with people. Like that's another thing, man. It's like don't be afraid to collaborate, man. It's like my best things, some of my favorite things are like working with others. And then I guess the top more of that off is like be kind, be humble, man. Treat everyone with respect. Like, I don't know. I could probably think of some more, but I mean, those are some great, I think, nuggets that I try to tell everybody and what I try to continue day to day to do in my own life and my own journey, man. So yeah.
A Absolutely, and wrapping it up on that, like, I have to thank you again for coming on here because that has been, if not one of the most impactful interviews or conversations I've had with anybody. And I know
Dude.
that anybody listening in on this one released is going to have a life epiphany. That light bulb is going to click just from all that information. I think so much was given, not only on the musical aspect, but just so many things to tie into life, whether it is you're going into sports, dealing with adversity, music, entrepreneurship, whatever it is. I think everything that you just told and that you've gone through in your life, and as to why you keep going and how you got to be where you are today, I think can apply to any field that anybody wants to go to. So I appreciate you for coming on here, because that definitely reaches out to, everybody, and is going to hit home for a lot of people.
I love it.
So
I
thank you.
got one more thing. My
Of course,
biggest
gotcha.
thing of all of it is patience.
Patience.
Be patient, man. I mean, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen, not when you think it's going to happen. And then I guess to the only thing I would add to patience is, be disciplined, but sometimes, man, don't be so hard on yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know that's my biggest thing.
Dude, I know.
It's something that I think, especially with I mean, and the reason I started YoungCap was because, with our generation upcoming, being a part of Gen Z, I think there's no reason why I can't be that leader, an example up there, and help people get to where they want to be. And I think that the biggest thing with Gen Z is that short term, that
Bro.
short term, everybody's got to have everything now. And I think that I'm guilty of it too. I beat
Even
myself up.
millennials struggle with that too, man. It's not just Gen Z, but you're giving me hope for Gen Z for sure. But yeah, I think, man, it's like, dude, you have you have kids that are 21, like thinking that, their life's over, or like they're not as successful as whoever they're comparing themselves. And it's like, dude, that's why, I don't listen to Gary Vee all the time anymore, but I've taken like enough nuggets of what he has to say where, and the biggest thing is patience, man. It's like, dude, go try it. If because a lot, dude, I don't really believe in luck, man, but I will say if there's a moment where like I'm lucky, was like, I decided that I wanted to do music when I was 13. But it's like, if you don't know what you want to do, just like he says, man, go try a bunch of stuff, dude. You could literally like try a bunch of stuff and then like start whatever it is you want. Like I didn't even like, I was already doing music, but I didn't start over as a solo artist till, dude, I'm 31. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, bro. It's like and dude, you're giving me super hope for Gen Z, but like, and I don't really like always to talk about my age, but dude, I actually like to mention it just like in the moments where it's like, dude, like I still feel like I'm a kid, man. And that's like my goal forever. I mean, my mindset is like, dude, 25 forever. I think 25 to me is like, that was when I kind of like really figured it out in a way, but bro, but from the time 25 to 31, like, whoa, crazy. But I'm like, man, I'm like, I still feel like a kid. That's my goal forever, is to always feel like I'm having fun and like I'm lighthearted and I'm following my dreams. I'm just a kid, like going outside, playing on the playground or going skating. Like that is what I want my life to be. I still play golf and disc golf, and I feel like I'm doing the same stuff that I did when I was younger, man. I keep saying, I've said this too a little bit lately, like same shit, more money. It's like, that's what we all want to do. We all want to do what we want to do and just at some point, like make more money, you know?
Absolutely.
So it's like, man, you got so much time, bro. You could just like go travel and do whatever you want for like another 10 years and then start a company when you're 27 and you'd be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really could. So it's like, dude, like, and then, dude, it's like you're gonna fail a bunch, bro, at whatever it is. So it's like, dude, take those failures and like let them build a stronger and stronger foundation. So it's, yeah, man. But you already got it, dude. So yeah, even for you, man, you're super young. Like, be patient with yourself, man. You got so much time. Like, you put the pressure that you feel like you need to put on yourself to get where you feel like you want to be. But also, man, like, don't be so hard on yourself, man. Like, you're good, man. You got time. Like, you could do, bro, like I said, you could go somewhere and meditate and be a monk for 10 years and then come back at 27 and be like, now I'm going to start whatever company and like chill. So
And I
yeah, bro.
appreciate it. I mean, you definitely had my eye opener today. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you go and follow Zack Gray on Instagram. Go and listen to Everybody Feels, I believe it is. And amazing song. I didn't even look at it. I clicked on the name and I just listened, and I'm amazing song.
Bro.
Make sure you guys go listen to that. Go follow him on Instagram. download on Apple Music, all of that. Make sure you go and subscribe on YoungCap on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. And that is a wrap on today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.